newest Nintendo Switch Online update is now live. You are able to hop into your Nintendo Switch, update your N64 app, and you will find that Mario Party 3 is now available to play. And while I still have plenty of gripes with Nintendo Switch Online at large, I do want to, in today's video, boot up this game, play through some brief portions, and reminisce, as I do have a certain level of nostalgia for this title, and have a broad conversation on the reason why Nintendo sticks to the drip feed update style that we've seen them go with so far, and whether or not we may ever see them change that, in addition to just where they are probably headed with the service as a whole from here. What's up, nation? Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification if you haven't already. We are mid round number 1 in story mode in Mario Party 3, and it's funny because you almost forget that this game actually has a story mode and a premise and a little Mario style setup to what's going on. You obviously want to play this game locally with friends and family if at all possible. What's nice is with NSO, of course, you don't have to have them there locally. You actually now have the ability to play these games online with friends, which is definitely a huge selling point and adds a lot of value to the classic N64 library when it comes to a multiplayer perspective. But you know, this is a fun one for me, just kind of one of those walk down memory lanes. Booted up again for the first time in years and years. Obviously, we have a lot of boards and mini games playable in Mario Party Superstars, but there's still a number of missing classic mini games and missing classic boards that I really thought they would do DLC for Mario Party Superstars. But in the meantime, this might be, if you want more of a nostalgia trip, it might be worth booting up this instead. So we'll get into really just our second mini game here. I will tell you guys that in terms of the topic that we're gonna tackle in this video, the idea kind of spawned from some of the comments that I saw when talking about the fact that Nintendo isn't really sticking to a frequent release schedule, and that's really the biggest problem that I have with the service. And you know, we're just gonna hit start and not practice here, but there seemed to be a lack of understanding, for at least from some people, that maybe Nintendo doesn't have the correct amount of developers to actually do. Or am I practicing this? Because I just wanted to it says quit. I just wanted to just go straight into the mini game. But you know, it's not that at all. It's very much strategic what Nintendo's doing in terms of and I may have way overshot that. No, I didn't shoot it hard enough. So I didn't read the control instructions. This is going to be a problem. So okay, we'll actually read this time and we'll come back to our, so aim for the hole, then hit the ball. The player close to the hole wins, but how am I actually charging? Let's practice this mini game. Okay, game rules. Okay, up, aim, and then A, hit ball. So I'm just adjusting the shot with up and down. Okay, all right, we can do this. So you know, the idea is that Nintendo, it's not that Nintendo doesn't have the resources or that it takes a lot of time to port these games over, although I do think you can argue online functionality definitely does take extra dev time and things. That was the perfect shot from Donkey Kong. I'm gonna have to try to remember what he did there in terms of power. But it's not really that. It's actually very strategic in terms of why Nintendo is doing what they're doing with the service. I want to say that was similar, but I probably overshot it just a little bit. I do think that Nintendo's 1000% purposely holding back the releases of these games just because they have a broader plan on how they're going to drip feed in new updates and really give you a reason to stay subscribed. Because if they front loaded everything and you play through all the classic games that you love and remember, it would be a little bit easier for you to maybe not renew your subscription. Whereas if they say this kind of stuff is coming, stick around the corner, we'll continue to update it with new additional updates, they're trying to get people to stay subscribed. But I think the one big miss with the service is really just that they could be doing a lot more third-party content. Obviously, we see them lead with their first-party classic titles, this being one of them. There's definitely plenty of games that they could pay some marginally small licensing fees, and of course we're going to hit the star before we get 20 coins. I shouldn't have bought that gold mushroom. We would have been just fine if I didn't earlier on. Anyway, oh, okay, let's see here. What do we have? What would you like? A powerful item, obviously. I do think that it's one of those things that if they just stepped up the bank account a little bit and opened up their checkbook, that they could get a lot of the third-party licensed games that, you know, the Star Wars of the world that used to be out on SNES and NES even, and even N64 Star Wars games. They had plenty of those. You know, you have Mickey Mouse, you have Goof Troop, you have all these classic iconic franchises that are technically not first party Nintendo, that if they wanted to, they could absolutely be spending the money to bring those over supplementally adding them in besides their big first party roadmap of games that we've seen them stick to so far. And I think that that's where the big miss is. If we got to something like one N64 game per month and maybe even one GBA game per month, I think that's more than worth it for the expansion pack tier subscribers. And then if you have the rotating other consoles of Sega Genesis, SNES and NES and Game Boy, I think if we're rotating all of those different things, I think that this is a no-brainer service at that point. But what we have to do right now is rely on Nintendo to kind of more or less surprise us whenever they're actually going to do an announcement. And I will give them credit on this one because I was almost thinking they might skip the entire month of October entirely. And to my surprise, they did an announcement for an N64 game and turned around and dropped it like 2 or 3 days later. Oftentimes with N64 games, it's a week ahead of time, bare minimum. So we did get this game a little bit quicker than is usual for Nintendo, but they still haven't finished out that N64 roadmap because from the September Direct of last year, 2022, we're talking, because we're still missing 1080 snowboarding. So there's probably broader, bigger plans for this service as we transition into next generation hardware. I truly believe that something like GameCube and or even Dreamcast could be around the corner for this service, but I think that Nintendo waits until they get their next gen console launching off here. So okay, yeah, I vaguely, so some of these games I just like don't remember exactly how they go. So move cursor A and and side note real quick for you guys, if anybody's still searching for this Nintendo 64 controller, my understanding is that they've been in stock and staying in stock lately. So go check the Nintendo store if you're still trying to track one of these down. It feels great to play an N64 game with this type of controller. So move cursor, grab item, place item, open curtain, and then the remember the items where they were on the shelves originally. If you get less than 3 points, you automatically lose. Okay. Toads knock all the items off the shelf. So we're just trying to put them back onto to where they were, is from my understanding. So it's a memory game. So you guys will be able to obviously see me probably mess this up, but okay, so we got banana. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I probably will not do the best job at this. Just because talking and thinking about where everything was, ooh, that's going to be a rough combo. But we'll do our best here. I want to say hammer was up top, maybe. This is going to be really funny for video for you guys, like just barely seeing it. Or should I follow the computer? Because maybe that guy was up there, yeah. And then I do think the peach crown was down here. It's like whenever you're copying your homework off somebody else's. No, this isn't right. I know I've totally messed this up. Okay, well, let's see. We're just gonna roll with it and see what happens. And we'll see how that goes. I'm assuming that I've completely failed this, but there's no telling for sure. What was the correct? Luigi, hammer. It was Wario's hat, and yeah, that's rough. That is a rough go of it, kids. Okay, well, 6 points, and surprisingly, that's still winning. Okay, I really thought that wouldn't go that way. So, all right, well, cool. Now we got enough coins to maybe get a star. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments, like what your favorite Mario Party game is, because I'm telling you, I would almost say it's Mario Party Superstars, the most recent release, but I do think that game needs DLC, so it has like more of the classic boards and stuff. Not to mention the fact that we really do have you know, a lot of Mario Party content available now, with 1 through 3 being there. And I do have some of the fondest memories from the GameCube games in terms of Mario Party 4, 5, 6, and even 7 was out on GameCube, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, those were some of the best games in my opinion. I mean, I really thoroughly enjoyed all of those. And then of course, whenever they went to more of the motion style controls with the Wii, it fell off a little bit for me. The Wii U one was Mario Party 10 was a very interesting concept where everybody could be on a team together versus Bowser, and whoever had the tablet controller was Bowser. That was a little bit broken in my opinion. It was way too easy for Bowser just to wreck everybody, but that's neither here nor there. Back to kind of the NSO topic. I do think we're around the corner from some really big updates, but I don't think it's coming this gen. And I think that really what Nintendo has communicated to us will probably just run out in terms of the roadmap, and maybe we get an update at the February Direct, or maybe it just goes back to kind of surprise releases like they do for the NES and SNES, because when systems have been around for a while in NSO, you kind of see Nintendo tend to do a little bit more of an afterthought with them. And I think that they're going to hit a point where we're just getting games, but we don't know to look forward to them. And that probably is even going to be happening on both the GBA and the N64 front rather soon. Now, whenever it comes to the big edition like GameCube, I do think that they will again release a roadmap for that. I just don't think it's this console generation. That said, we're gonna blink and next gen will be here before we know it. So I really hope Nintendo does more in terms of the frequency of updates, but it is definitely a strategy. It's not them not having the resources. If they paid the licensing fees, they'd have plenty of games to choose from, and not to mention, okay, so we have A, B, and Z to play the drum, and I'm assuming if your drum timing is off, you will lose it. Remember the order in which the drums are played. Okay, so it's one of those where you have to, okay, so A, B, and Z are the 3 different buttons. So we'll just hop straight in. I never do practices on these. So another memory game, because of course that's what they like to throw at you here. Okay, A, B, Z, A. Was I supposed to be doing it at the same time? Hopefully not. Okay. A, B, Z. Oh, that was Luigi. Okay, it's only whenever it's my turn. I see what's going on here. And it's about to be. Okay, so A, B, Z, A. Okay, and then I add in the next one. Here we go. All right, we got a nice little mini game going. Whatever the talk track was before this one is totally gone now. I don't remember what I was telling you guys other than the GameCube potentially coming, and then we have AAB. So I'm gonna have to be aware of this. This is gonna get kind of crazy. Okay, A, B, Z, A, B, A. Okay, all right. Give this a shot. But A, B, Z, A, B. Nope. I messed. I clicked Z, and that's not what I was trying to do. Okay, well, we messed that up, but we're out of the game. But anyway, guys, we're going to call the video here anyway. I did just want to kind of get your guys' pulse on what you think about NSO. Once again, I know we talk about it from time to time on the channel, but it's also an ever-evolving service. And I really want to hear from you guys what kind of update frequency you think we need to see to really make it worth it, because I definitely see a lot of comments and feedback of some people still feeling like the expansion pack is not worth it. And it really has to do with Nintendo not sticking to any kind of consistent update schedule with the games. But what would you like to see in a perfect world? And then also, do you think that Nintendo will start to add in more third-party licensed games eventually? And maybe we're talking about so what do I got to do to get up that ice mountain then? I'm just stuck entirely. The icon looks, oh, if somebody else steps on it. Okay, yeah, see, I totally forgot about this stage. Anyway, and let me know kind of what you want from the service in terms of overall features and everything in the future from here. And then also, do you think that Nintendo does start adding in those third-party licensed games, or do you think that it just mainly sticks to first-party stuff like we've seen them do so far? And then bonus question, let me know if you're still actively a subscriber, or if you're somebody who let your subscription expire because of the lack of updates, and if you're really excited for Mario Party 3 like I am. It's really cool to play these classic Mario Party games in their original form with the option for online play. But yeah, let me know about everything NSO and your personal thoughts and opinions on where we'll head from here and how Nintendo needs to navigate it to make it always worth it for the consumer. But regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Go watch yesterday's video next if you haven't already, which is on screen right now. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.